What's up, everybody? This your boy, Bless the Damn Best, coming at you once again, doing what I do, how I do it. Now, today, I will bring you a conversation between Jason Black, also known as the Black Authority, and a caller that goes by the name of FBA All Day. Just to give a little context, Jason interviewed a guy on his show that was running for office. As he was laying down his plan for Black Americans, he mentioned the word African in reference to slavery. The indigenous aboriginals in the chat took this as a trigger to start babbling and seeking attention. And just like always, it didn't go well. Jason answers several questions that are out there in the community these days. I hope you find this as interesting as I did. So here we go.
Caller from area code 786. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is FBA All Day, and I'm calling from Miami, Florida.
Congratulations. How old are you, FBA All Day?
I am 42.
How many kids do you have?
I have one.
Okay. And how long have you lived in Miami?
Well, my family have been here since the early 1900s, but I've been here since 2003.
Okay, then you were not born and raised in Miami.
No, I was born and raised in Georgia.
There you go. All right. Well, ma'am, you had some choice comments also while our guest was on, so it's your opportunity to go ahead and enlighten all of us about it, please.
Well, actually, I kind of misspoke because I didn't really listen to everything. And then when I heard that he included the slaves, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have, even made a comment. So I really don't have a problem with anything he said, and I really appreciate the fact that we have someone advocating for us.
Well, that's very nice to hear, because here's the issue that I have. I need some folks out there who are dealing with what Dr. John Henry Clark called the disease of ego starvation. We need to stop that. We got to stop that now. That when somebody sits up here and talks, y'all listen to half a damn sentence or half a word, and then y'all start chipping and talking. White folks show up and niggas sit with rapt attention. They hang on every word. Black folks start talking, and the first thing they want to do is sit up here and show, I ain't got to listen to niggas. Now that's disgraceful. Now, yes it is. Yes it is. I got your words, ma'am. I didn't tell you to call in because I didn't read what you said, heifer. I read exactly what you said. I read your words. My mods didn't send that to me, ma'am. I read your words. I'm the one who told you to call in. Now, you want to start that debate with me so I can tell you what the hell you were saying, and you're going to try to pretend it was a misunderstanding? No, it's not. I read what you said. You ain't African.
And I also said that I did miss.
And what I'm saying is that you shouldn't have spoken. That man didn't say anything. He didn't say anything for you to object to. And if you did have an issue with that, you were supposed to ask for clarity. You didn't do that.
That's true.
If you had a problem with what you thought he might be saying, your job is supposed to be to ask for clarity. You damn sure do with them white folk when you go to work on Monday. Now, you don't do that with them. Y'all dot your I's and cross your T's and cross your legs if you can. But with black folk, here y'all go with that garbage. I didn't get on Kamala Harris's case because I was bored. Kamala Harris did the same thing over and over and over again. If all she had said was disproportionate impact, that would have been a different matter. She said that. Then she came back and said, you expect me to do something just for black people? No. Then she came back again. I don't think we can do nothing with reparations. Okay, that wasn't just one damn thing. She done clarified it. And then she dodged us. Craig ain't dodging on us. This is what I mean by when we sit up here and say, we got folks who are sitting up here talking this here, and our representation and folks are sitting up here acting like asses about it and whatnot. At the very least, it's like, wait a minute, shouldn't we have some clarity on that? Nope, don't need to. Let me tell you what it means. Wait a minute. That's not even the case. folks are sitting up here, y'all are acting and don't think. And what I'm saying is that's not a failure of our political class. This is the so-called community class here that is unstrategic as hell. Unstrategic as hell. Don't even know, they don't even know what they're objecting to. They're just waiting for an opportunity to be heard so they can start talking and don't even know what they're objecting to. There is nothing, listen to me, ma'am. There is, ma'am, be quiet. There is nothing wrong with being a person of African descent who was in slavery. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a historical designation. That does not mean that you are an African per se today. Nobody said that you were. But back then, you were an African. And you can't make a distinction beyond that. You're making a distinction today. You couldn't make one then. Well, there were some indigenous people. Absolutely true. Were they enslaved or were they not? Well, they were. Were they other than black? Show me the non-black people who were under the Constitution eligible for slavery. Oh, you can't find them because there weren't any. And as soon as the man says the obvious, what the hell? Furthermore, you don't want to get into the genealogical record of that. Thank you for at least acknowledging the obvious, ma'am. Folks, what I'm saying here is we get stuck on stupid. That's a problem, man. That's a damn problem. You got dumbasses sitting up here acting as if the man sat up here and said, this is for all Africans. Did you miss the part where he said enslaved? That's the lineage part of it. Well, there were some who were here who were indigenous. Okay, that doesn't rule them out. That's not excluding anybody. Were you enslaved? Yes, you were. I ain't no African. You're not very smart either. You had damn me Charles Rangel and friends up there who didn't say a damn word for us. They wouldn't even identify as black. I mean, I don't know if Charlie could, but they didn't even identify as black up there. Hillary Clinton came tap dancing through and here they go. They talked about gentrification, but they didn't talk about it as a black issue. Nothing, wouldn't even acknowledge that we damn well exist. The Congressional Black Caucus is sitting there in Washington and doesn't even acknowledge that black people exist. Talking around reparations. Take a look at how the rest, they get lockjaw and start stumbling. As soon as you say the word reparations, you find somebody who don't do that. All right, now let me see if I can be smarter than that. This is why we don't get so much done that could be, because as soon as somebody says something sensible, the back of the classroom crayon chewing kids jump up. Can I be seen? Look at me. Can I be seen? It is not for Africans. It's for enslaved people. And by the way, if you really want to get into that, the whole thing is, are we going to expand that for melanated people or not melanated? Because otherwise, are you going to tell me we're going to let in the red Indians? You don't really want to know where that goes, people. You don't actually want to know where that goes. Maybe I do need to do a documentary informing people about the actual genetic lineage here in what you call North America. Maybe I do, because apparently there's a lot of folk out there who either got misinformation or you didn't understand what you actually heard. And considering the short attention spans I've seen tonight, it's probably the latter. Maybe I need to do a documentary explaining to you all about the river in the ocean. Maybe I need to explain to you all about the river in the ocean. Because apparently there's a lot of folks here just completely dog-ass ignorant about how genetics works, period. Or maybe they're subscribers to the polygenetic theory. Maybe that's the case. EJK Boxing, you got 2 minutes to be on the phone line. What I'm saying is you got folks sitting up here, y'all talking like it's a religion. This isn't religion. You can't walk into a court or a legislature talking about, this is my belief system about what I hear, this is what I think. You have to have some actual facts. Y'all want to sit up here and criticize the Hebrew Israelites, and then you find out there's enough ignorant people sitting right here. You operate just the same. You don't have any facts. You don't have any knowledge. You don't have any proof. You don't have any documentation. You have a belief system. You have a belief system. You don't even know how we got here. And while it is possible that there were people who crossed the Bering Strait, you can't rule that one out necessarily. It's possible that there were people who did cross the Bering Strait. But the populations of what you call currently North and South America, actually, there was a quicker way to get here. For those of you who didn't know, and it wasn't space aliens dropping and depositing them. But that was a very long time ago, and we are a completely separate and distinct people now. And everyone should respect that, because even on the continent of Africa, Nigerians consider themselves to be a distinct and separate people from southern Africa. I'll roll with that. Knock yourselves out. That's the way that works. But no, people, we were not deposited here by UFO. It wasn't Mork and Mindy. We didn't spring out of the earth like Nimrod. It didn't happen. Apparently, some folks here think it did. No proof whatsoever. Some folks apparently think that people sprung out of the soil of North America or South America. So you don't believe in religion, but you believe that. Or at least you think that. Or at least you've left no other explanation other than that one. Folks got tongue-tied and stupid. They failed civics, they failed geology, they failed sociology, they failed social studies, they failed geography, they failed every single study here. They think is we African. I ain't no African. Well, no, of course you're not an African today. Of course you're not. I wasn't African then either. Sir, how does that work? Indigenous. What do you think indigenous means? What do you think that means? Lewis Bryant needs to call in. He's got 2 minutes or ban him. Whichever one. If he'd like to ask that question, he can ask me directly. He's got 2 minutes or he can leave. Call him area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good evening, big brother Jason.
Wrong evening, Elijah. Give us a call back next week here. I want my folks who are on the phone lines here that we've told to call in. They need to be dropping their area codes here in the chat, everyone. Now, this is their opportunity to, I read their comments, and that's why I took down their comments here. When you have them call up, it's like, wait a minute, shouldn't they be educating all of us now?